Now, many displaced residents of Old Fadama spent the night in the open after their illegal structures were demolished to make way for dredging of the Odorite drain. Nursing mothers with their babies were spotted sleeping in the open. Now displaced, they were seen sleeping in the open by the JoyNews team. Now my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson has been engaging some of them on their predicaments, which they say have been compounded by the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown. They want government to help resettle them or transport them to their hometowns.
How old is your baby?
He's 1.5.
He's 1.5 years. So how do you feel that both of you are here tonight and sleeping on your mattress outside? How do you feel, madam?
Please, I feel bad because where we were in, we were feeling good for ourselves. But for now, we don't know the reason why we are out. And mostly, they could have get something for us, a place for us to sleep, than sleeping outside. It's not good for me.
I was told that they were providing you with tents. Has any of the authorities come to you to provide any tent?
They didn't.
They've not done anything.
And they didn't do anything for us. They promised us that they will give us, and we didn't receive anything from them.
Okay. Thank you.
Now we don't know where we are going to sleep. That's why we're there outside.
So how do you feel sleeping outside for the first time?
Oh, it's paining me because right now, see, it's my shirt that I'm using because of the mosquito. So I don't know where to sleep. That's why we are sleeping here. So we don't feel happy at all. So now we did a lockdown and the demolition took come. And now there's no way to go to our hometowns again. So now we don't know how to do.
So if you're asked to go to your hometown, are you willing to go to your hometown?
Oh, if we get car, we can go. Because if they open the way there, we can go.
Has the authority, I mean the assembly, come to your aid? Have they come up with any provision as to where you sleep or something? Anything like that?
No, nobody come here.
Nobody has come here?
No. And we make our mind that there is no rally this year. Nobody should come here and say he's going to do rally. No. We are tired.
Okay. Thank you, boss. What's your name, sir?
Abdurazak Mohammed.
Abdurazak Mohammed. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
How many kids do you have? Do you have a wife, a child?
Oh, 2.
You have 2 wives?
Yes.
Where are they? Are they here?
They are all here.
So where are they? Where are they now?
Oh, now they're also here. There's no room again.
So is that your friend's place? Or
yeah.
That's your friend's place?
Yeah. They demolished my room. So now we don't get any place to stay.
And how many kids do you have?
2.
2 kids?
Yes.
With each of them?
Yeah.
You have 2 wives?
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so now that you have 2 wives, 2 kids, you don't have a room to sleep, how are you going to care for your children or your wife?
Oh, for them they are outside here. They are also they are on this corner. They are also outside, no room.
So how will you care for them? How are you going to take care of them?
Oh, now I have nothing to do.
So how are you going to take care of them?
Now I'm not working. They are not working. So and this one to come. So now I don't have anything self. So now we are just praying to God. If they open the way, then we'll get chance to our hometown.
Okay. Thank you very much, Abdul.
You're welcome.
Now, the mayor of Accra, Mohammed Nia Jaisoa, said temporary structures will be provided for the displaced persons.
The first measure is that they've been moved out to other areas where they are sleeping. Some of them had requested that we should provide tent, and of course, That's what I'm saying. I'm going there again tomorrow. Some of them said we should provide them tent, but we are looking for a suitable place where we provide the tent, because you can also provide a tent at a place where it is, that place is very mushy. So you're also mindful of some of these things, so that when you are taking decisions, the decision could be possibly right, on all these things. And then the third request is for them to go back to their hometown. And as I indicated, it doesn't fall within my powers to do so. Once they bring the petition to government will look at it and then will respond accordingly. But I would encourage that if that opportunity is there, they should be granted.
We'll speak to the leadership of the swamp dwellers on this resettlement plan for them shortly. But before that, let's engage my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson, who was in the community last night, for more on this. Parker, how extensive was this demolition, and any estimate of the affected victims' numbers?
Well, so the affected victims tell me that they hovering around 1,000, because most of the wooden structures which serves as accommodation for them house about 10 people in number. So you see one tiny kiosk and about 10 people are sleeping in that kiosk. So we are talking about thousands of residents who have been displaced by this demolition exercise. And Ernest, let me just put it on record that the Accra Mayor disagrees with the numbers. I mean, his point is that it's only a handful, just about 200-300 people who have been displaced, and not about 1,000 as the residents are claiming. And as you mentioned, last night it was a very sorry situation when I visited them around 11:30 to 12 midnight to see some of them sitting in plastic chairs with their shirts covered on their face, and also some of them using their shirts to ward off the mosquitoes from, of course, biting them. And clearly, they were just sleeping just by the Kole Lagoon, which is being desalted or dredged. And so you get a lot of mosquitoes buzzing all over the place at Old Fadama, where I visited. In fact, there was a woman that I saw she was seated on a bench, bent over slightly, with the baby strapped behind her back, and she was asleep. She was fast asleep. And he asked the people sitting around her, and they tell me that, we have nowhere to go. That's where you're going to spend the night, and so there's nothing you can do about it. Some of our friends have moved to their relatives or friends within the non-affected areas. But for us, we don't have any relatives here. We don't have friends here, so we have nowhere to go. We just sit here till morning. And some of them also were actually just loitering about. They don't have nowhere to go, so they said that they're going to keep awake till morning. So this was the situation at Old Fadama last night when I visited them.
Very sad. A lot of them slept very rough last night. But tell us also about the weather conditions. You spoke about dealing with mosquitoes. That's pretty obvious. But what was the weather like? And I'm asking this because of the children.
Yeah, it was very cold. It was very cold. One of the ladies that I spoke to had a baby right beside her to keep him warm. And some of the young men also seated on the chairs and of course some of them who were on the mattress in the open had some tiny clothes covering them, so they're preventing the cold weather and also the mosquitoes as well. So the weather was quite cold, but of course they had no option. And they had no option. They have nowhere to go, so they have to deal with the cold weather until this morning. So of course this morning we'll be going to check it to assess the situation and of course update our viewers on that.
One of them you spoke to said that he'll be willing to go back to his hometown if he'll be given transportation. Did you really get a sense from them that they are genuinely willing to relocate or to move back to their hometowns?
And without mincing words, one would be tempted to believe that what the residents are saying, they really mean what they say. Genuinely, they want to go back, because they cited quite a number of reasons why they would want to go back. Most of them are head porters. Most of them are Okada riders. And during the lockdown period, head porters are not working. Okada riders are not working. And so it is very difficult to fend for themselves. Now, the wooden structures that they sleep in, of course, has also been demolished. And they don't have any relatives here. So the only plea is that government makes available some transportation and take them back to their home region. And all the people I spoke to yesterday, those from the Western region, the Ashanti region, and quite a number of them from the northern part of the country, the northern region, the upper east and upper west, were insisting that government should make available transportation for them to go back to their home region. So if today, and I was very emphatic that, so if government should provide buses today for you to go to your home region, are you willing to go? The answer was in the affirmative that today they will pack their little belongings that they have, get into the bus, and straight they go back to their home region.
How about the resettlement? The mayor made mention of the fact that there'll be some structures made available for some of these displaced people. Are some of them willing to resettle in these structures?
Yes, some of them are willing to resettle because they traveled all the way to the south of here in Accra for greener pastures. So most of them have been here for the past 10, 15 years, and they are still working. They barely visit their homes. And so they were kind of expectant that after the demolition exercise, when we carried out the story at midday and, of course, in the evening, and we spoke to the mayor, they were expectant of some provision, some temporary structures or the tent, as the mayor put it. But unfortunately, it didn't happen like that. So if the city authorities are willing to provide temporary structures to them, they're willing to resettle. And of course, with the bus as well as an alternative, they're also ready to go back. So whichever way will make them comfortable within the lockdown period, because they're still uncertain whether there's going to be an extension of the lockdown period or not. So if the government will provide them with temporary structures or perhaps provide buses for them to go back to their home region, those two alternatives, they'll jump onto any of them. They'll be ready available just for their comfort.
Do you know where this alternative accommodation is, and do you know exactly how many people it can contain?
Ernest, the mayor was not specific because he told me that that old Fadama slum is quite a mushy area, so they were looking out for more of a suitable place where they can keep the tent or the temporary structures for them. And he made the point that some of them have already been moved elsewhere. But last night when I got there, I didn't get the sense that some of the people have been moved elsewhere. Those who have moved to their friends and relatives just within the slum where it wasn't affected. But majority of them who had nowhere to go were left in the open, of course, sleeping rough. So we still don't have an idea where the temporary structures, as said by the mayor, will be located or situated. Of course, when we get that, definitely we'll let the viewers know. But for now, we do not know where it is because the mayor says that they're still looking out for places where they can mount those temporary structures for the slum dwellers.
Parker, thank you very much for bringing us up to speed on the situation at Old Fadama. Now we are joined by the president of the Slum Dwellers Association, Al-Hassan Ibn Abdullah. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on News Text. Do you have any idea about this new place your members are being asked to resettle?
Good morning. I'm the secretary of Slum Union of Ghana, not president.
You are the secretary, okay.
Yes, secretary of Slum Union of Ghana.
All right, and if you can speak up for us, sir.
Okay, so yes, the mayor, I understand, has provided some tents so they can provide some alternative for but I do not know where exactly that. But I think what is important is to provide them alternative. If that is done, that's fine. It is okay. But for now, we do not know where exactly we are talking about.
Now, some of your people want to be transported back to their hometowns. Are you trying to make that arrangement for them?
Yes, sir. We spoke with them and we told them that has been the first opportunity because the people are already under lockdown for the past week. We are getting prepared and the people are already frustrated by the lockdown. Now we add this problem to them by demolishing their houses. So at the moment, the best for them is that them relocated their hometown where they will have family members to support them. but the government doesn't support that.
Abdallah, if you can speak up for me, are you saying that you've engaged officials, city authorities on this matter and they are not willing to help? Is that what you're saying?
So we are not officially engaged because they are not willing to officially engage.
They are not willing to engage you in the first place?
Yes, they are not willing. Because they are very, I don't want to say rigid, but they are trying to just do whatever they want. They don't want to. But the order they are saying is the leadership of the community, which would have also been good, but unfortunately, I don't know if they are following the leadership. And if we got the opportunity to engage them, this would have been relocating the people would have been the number one of.
As an association, do you have any help to offer your members? Some of them are finding it difficult to get by already.
Yes, so for now, the only help we are providing, unfortunately, is advocacy. We try to get material help, but we have not access.
All right, thank you very much for your time. That's the Secretary of the Slum Union Association, Al-Hassan Abdallah, speaking to us on the situation at Old Fadama. You're watching News Tech with me, and Asmin. We're taking a short break. When we return, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.